Hello there everyone. Today's video will be a little bit different than the norm because instead of focusing on something negative or critiquing something, although having its place, just every once in a while it feels a bit more refreshing to talk about more positive and uplifting things for a change. Let us be hippies for a brief moment, take a deep breath and get some good vibes going. We all have our own ways of relaxing when it comes to dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression. Sometimes it can just be little things that can help us feel better about ourselves or help put in perspective that stuff we find to be so common has a tendency to be taken for granted. So every now and then I try to remember that when you find yourself in a rough situation or stuff around you starts to accumulate, to take it slow, take it a step at a time, and to enjoy small things that you're fortunate enough to have. However, I understand that there are people who find themselves in much more severe circumstances than others. It varies from person to person depending on the people around you, mental problems, financial issues. The list can and always will go further on. We all know life can be a roller coaster of chaos. That's a pretty obvious statement that doesn't really need to be said, but it's true nonetheless. So whatever strife is going on in your life, from me to you, I hope all goes well. I hope you bounce back and are able to resolve whatever conflict or struggle you're having to go through. One thing that helps me keep my mind somewhat at ease is listening to people who I enjoy talk about their experiences and what advice they have to give. It feels good to be able to at least relate to someone, having them show their humanity and find that you're not always going to be alone. Whether it just be words of encouragement or them just sharing their thoughts and putting them out there, sometimes it can help.
Probably the one thing that we all do more than anything else. So identifying if your depression or your sadness is coming from a place of internal hate is something that plagues a lot of us, and also it's not something that needs to be fixed right away. Some of us get down on ourselves, like me, myself included, because we expect so much out of ourselves. You know, we want to do so much, therefore we're upset when we do less. And that's a poisonous way of thinking, and it's a poisonous route to take yourself down, because it only means that you don't celebrate your successes enough and you only admonish your failures. And that's no way to live. So if you're ever feeling this way, just remember that you can choose to forgive yourself for transgressions. You can choose to forgive yourself for failures. You can choose to be above your own hate and take that as an example for the hate in the world around you. A lot of bullying these days are people that are projecting their own hate on themselves upon others so that they can escape their pain. And, you know, that's no way to live, but that's someone else's problems. If you're feeling down about yourself, then many times you just need to forgive yourself. But there's also environmental factors that aren't you being mad at yourself or being upset with yourself. They're situational things. Money's not enough. You know, your home life isn't solid. Your relationships are breaking down. You don't feel like you have friends to surround yourself with. And in those times, I don't have an anecdotal piece of advice or words that are going to fix your problem or even likely to make you feel better. But if it does bring you any solace, just know that I really, honestly, truly believe that you can get through it. I honestly believe that you're strong enough to pursue your goals and to conquer your dreams and go farther than you ever thought possible. But the only way to do it is to keep trying.
It's always easier to down yourself for things you wish could have gone differently or be disappointed in yourself for things you haven't done that you said you were going to do. When you set goals for yourself and they may not come to light, you'll always be your biggest critic and kick yourself in the ass for things that to some would seem minute. There'll be times where you'll fail, where you mess up, make mistakes, or embarrass yourself, and while we try our best to avoid these things, sometimes they just happen. But remember that tons of people have and will experience it for themselves. It's more of a challenge to forgive and forget, especially with yourself for things, but no one is perfect. No one expects perfection, and if they do, they're foolish. Obviously, we are not the same people from start to finish. As time progresses, we progress with it and go through our own different cycles, while elements of what we learned and like about ourselves will stay with us. Believe me though, it's hard to like yourself, let alone love yourself, but like with everything, you go slow and take your time because you have to go at your own pace.
Ralph, wait there. Your past is dirty. Oh my gosh. I know, Ralph. Oh my gosh. You've made a lot of mistakes. Oh, yes, I have. Oh my gosh. A lot of accidents have happened. Oh my gosh, yes, they have. Please don't expose me. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna expose myself. Yes, I've made a lot of mistakes in my past. Yes, I'm not a saint. What else are you gonna say about me? Nah, 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 nah. That's what the cat down the road's saying. Look, deep divers, Do you ever meet someone and they're doing well for themselves, then you bring up their past? Why are you doing that? Is it productive? Absolutely not. So what's helped me along my journey? If I see someone doing well, I'm counseling a lot of people, I'm like, keep going. I don't care what you did in your past. Nobody's a saint. Nobody's perfect. Everybody is work in progress. Slow motion this side. Stop trying to bring up the past for someone who's trying to do better with their life and evolve. That's not necessary.
A lot of us try our best and try to be better than we are, but when we feel like we aren't or we have setbacks, we'll keep dwelling on them and discourage ourselves, making it harder to try and move forward. But eventually you'll be able to. Again, it just takes time and motivation. No matter what it is you do, you can get burnt out on anything and stress over anything, because let's face it, the world is depressing and fucked up at times. Not saying you can't ignore the bad, obviously, but it's always been a give and take system with it. Sometimes if you don't feel good enough to do something, you think to yourself that others won't approve, or you're running all these scenarios in your head, lacking confidence in yourself in the process, rethinking decisions or plans you already had. Lack of confidence can lead to a lot of mental barriers, a lot of decisions that stop ourselves from achieving things, and sometimes the self-fabricating stress based off assumptions or inferences you make. But eventually you'll gain the confidence back. You can and will overcome obstacles, and if you need help along the way, feel free to ask, because there's no shame in it. I get we have our pride, we don't feel like burdening others with our problems, but same time, you shouldn't view it as being bothersome.
I feel like I have a choice. I have a choice to either be frustrated and irritated with the current back issues that I have and the current weight issues that I have and the current botched job I did on my shaving job, or be frustrated with the limitations I have and be frustrated with missing someone who was so pivotal in my life for so long. I can choose to focus on that. And I can choose to focus on what an incredible opportunity I have here. I can focus on all of the wonderful things that I have in my life, and I can do my best, knowing that my best probably won't be good enough, knowing that I'll probably fall on my ass, I'll embarrass myself at some point, I'll be in pain, I'll hurt my back, things will not be as great as they could be, not as great as I could envision it, not as great as I would hope, but still pretty goddamn great, and I can try to focus on that.
So for me, I just wanted to share some inspirational dialogue from these go-to YouTubers whom I personally watch and respect greatly. But obviously there are other outlets you can do that can help: listening to music, exercising, going on a hike, spending time with friends, family, pets. But of course it's never a simple fix and you can only do so much. So know just to try your best and that it'll be okay. Problems fluctuate and come out of nowhere, so each time we try to be more prepared, but really it can hit you when you least expect it. But life can get better, life will get better, and you can branch off to any path that you want to make. As life can be scary, nerve-wracking, and dangerous, so too can it be fascinating, fulfilling, and exciting. It just depends on the time, the place, the person, and a multitude of different factors. I'm wanting to enjoy what life has to offer because I know in the back of my head all the time that it isn't going to last forever. So I hope you can take something away from this. If not, I do apologize, but know that there are people out there who genuinely give a fuck about you and want to see you succeed, want to see you do and be better. Accomplish things you want to do, go out and shape a life you want. Can you feel it? The energy coursing through you? Motivation! Sometimes a little confidence booster can go a long way. Anyway, I hope this helped just a little bit, and I thank you for taking the time to watch this. I always appreciate it, and like usual, everyone, I'll see you later in my next video.